They say that imitation is the highest form of flattery, but what do you do when it feels like a competitor is copying your every move? Hey there, Selena from selenaknight.com and the Bringing Business to Retail podcast. And today we're talking copycat retailers. To start with, woohoo, because clearly you are doing something right and you are seen as the leader of your field. And that's worth celebrating, so go you. But it's a pretty feeling to open up your laptop and see someone who is blatantly copying all that you say and do. After chatting with a lot of people in the retail industry about this topic, what I discovered is that copying tends to be more of the online component of retail and less of the offline bricks and mortar side. Let's be honest, if you walked into a store that looked exactly like a store in the next street, you'd probably be more confused than anything. And if you went back again and the window display had changed to something that was similar to what you'd seen in the original store, then you'd probably start to realize that this second store doesn't have any soul. It doesn't have its own voice. So what do you do when you find someone is copying you? Firstly, know your rights and ensure you've covered your butt. Make sure you've trademarked your business name and your logo. This way you're legally covered if someone tries to copy your logo or they try to register your business name. In addition, when you publish original content on your website, such as product descriptions you've written, or perhaps you've done some tutorials or a cheat sheet or a blog post, you are automatically attributed copyright. So you find someone has copied your digital work. What do? Start off with a letter or email to the person who is using your material. This may be enough to get them to stop. If they continue to use your material, you have several options, including having a solicitor draw up a cease and desist letter, or you can report the offender to their web host or to search engines as infringing on your copyright. However, I do have to put a disclaimer in here about website design. Quite often, websites are created from templates. Now, if you or your designer have chosen this option, it's highly likely that there's going to be many other websites that have a similar look and feel. But what if the copying is more about your style rather than copyright infringement? Let me tell you a story about what can happen. I've had that phone call, the one where someone calls you to tell you that they found a website that is almost the same as yours. The text has been copied, or your images have been copied, or just your overall style has been copied. My friend called me to say that she'd found a website that had an almost identical vision and my mission statement had been completely copied. Well, to start off with, most retail stores don't even include that stuff on their website. So when I had a look, it was nearly word for word. Better yet, there were pictures of stock that had been taken in my store and this person had passed them off as their own. Now, it's impossible to be someone else forever. If somebody is copying you, they aren't being themselves, and eventually that's going to become pretty obvious to their customers. You need to continue to show your customers, your suppliers, and the rest of the retail world how you're different. Now, use video, use photos, use blog posts and reviews to build your brand, to secure your position as a leader in your retail field, and to speak to your customers in a way that is truly authentic to your brand. At the end of the day, if someone is copying you, move on. Remove yourself from the situation and know that it's impossible to be somebody else forever. Be unique, own your brand's voice, and blitz your competition by being the first and the best to add value for your customer. Now, I've even had a cool poster designed for you that says, "Keep calm and know you're a leader." You can download it along with a whole bunch of ways to deal with retail copycats in my cheat sheet over at selinaknight.com. And what happened to the person who was infringing on my copyright? A quick phone call to my solicitor, and for a couple of $100, he drafted up a cease and desist letter. I actually hand delivered that because I was able to find out the person's address, and in the letter it had been outlined what needed to be removed and why. Now, this person did have a little whinge that their copywriter had drafted the vision and mission statements and that she'd paid for them, so she couldn't see why she needed to have them removed. I politely pointed out that perhaps she should request her money back from said copywriter because it was clear that they'd been copied. The offending images and text were removed that day. And that's how you deal with copycat retailers. For the cheat sheet and your free poster, head on over to selinaknight.com, where you'll find a bunch of other retail biz strategies that you can use in your business every day. You can also subscribe to the Bringing Business to Retail podcast, where each week I interview business and thought leaders for their take on business and life. So until next week, go forth and have a profitable day.